Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Yoga Day event where we teach you all how to do Sahaja Yoga meditation. So my name is Anjali, and I am a rising junior in high school, and I live in Florida.
Hi, my name's Advait, and I'm a incoming freshman in college, and we're both very excited to be here to show you and kind of, explain about yoga and get into more detail with it.
Yeah, so let's begin. Maybe if we can pull up the PowerPoint, we can start. So I'm sure most of you know by all of the advertising of the event and everything like that. But yesterday, June 21st, was the International Day of Yoga, as declared by a US resolution from 2014. And so today we're just going to talk a little bit about yoga as well as how to practice this form of yoga meditation. So Advait, can you start us off?
hmm Yeah, so if we can go to the next slide, please. So basically, before we get into what yoga is and everything, we're going to start with the origins of yoga and how it really came to be. And this was kind of derived in like 1700 BCE and by these sages in India who kind of wanted to, find a method to spiritually connect with themselves and kind of de-stress and find a method to relax and connect to this power, so to say, right? And there's many different types of yogas that was derived in terms of, doing exercises or if it's breathing. But we want to know what does yoga really mean in terms of what it is, and that's what Anjali is going to get into is what does yoga actually mean.
Yes, so on the next slide, we'll see that yoga is actually a very loose way to talk about union. So it's derived from the word union from the Indian language of Sanskrit. And it kind of describes union with anything, whether it be some type of religion or a belief, or in the way that we use it more generally, it describes union with yourself, union with your internal power. So yeah, so yoga doesn't really have any particular ties to religion or anything like that. But something that a lot of people have as a misconception is that yoga is like the exercise, which it is, but like the base form, when you get it down to the roots, is that connection that you develop with yourself. So Advait will kind of describe a little bit more about yoga um, on the
Yeah,
next slide.
exactly. So basically, before we go into yoga, we're gonna kind of talk about how this specific yoga of, how we said it's more of the union, and that's what Sahaja Yoga meditation is all about, right? And we're gonna kind of connect that to something that we all have in common, which is just us being students, whether it's high school or college. There are just certain simple challenges based on education, life, whether it's homework and projects or anything, or even the social aspect of going to school or college. So we're just gonna kind of go through some challenges and how that practicing Sahaja Yoga can kind of practicing that meditation can kind of help with those situations. So can we go to the first challenge, please? The next slide. So to start off, a huge thing is, just stress with if you get a homework, deadlines coming up, projects, and a bunch of other stuff, or even just drama at school, just social situations. There's a lot of stress that comes in on a daily basis. And that kind of takes you away from being in the present, kind of focusing on if you're working on something or doing the right thing in a situation. And that kind of helps, the meditation kind of helps to cope with that stress, because you kind of sit down and it relaxes you, it de-stresses you, and it takes you away from all those issues. And once you become a little more clear-headed, you can kind of get to whatever you're doing in a better state. So if you want to go into the next challenge.
Yeah. So another challenge that we noticed a lot, especially for me, is that a lot of people around me in school have a lot of different mental health issues, whether it be some kind of disorder or anxiety or stress that they develop from that kind of social pressure, or maybe it's academics. But um, we've noticed it as a very hot issue in today's society. So I think that in my own experiences, one of the main things that cause issues with mental health and that causes stress is things changing. So when you're becoming an adult, you're growing out of the phase where you have your parents' protection or your guardian's protection, and you kind of have to learn how to adapt. And that whole experience can often cause you to feel kind of lost. And by having that kind of feeling, it can cause mental health issues. So a lot of times mental health is something that's not really talked about. So a lot of people, I know in school they talk about it a bit, but it's more of a theoretical way of talking about it rather than actually giving you counseling or things like that. So oftentimes mental health can prove as a barrier to any careers that you want to do, or to even just opening up and getting friends in your social circle. So I think that overcoming these kinds of mental health issues is really important. And one of the reasons why I've actually been able to kind of prevent this from happening is by practicing Sahaja Yoga meditation on a daily basis. So I think that one of the most important things is just taking that time, whether it be 5-10 minutes in the morning and 5-10 minutes in the night, and just sit down, like away from all of my devices, and just sit down with my hands open on my lap and just internalize everything that happened today does not matter. And at the end of the day, it's our connection with ourself that is actually preventing us from having all of these issues and preventing us from falling into a very deep rabbit hole. So
Right.
yes, there are a lot more benefits to Sahaja Yoga meditation, but those come with challenges that they have to beat.
Right. So can we go to the next slide, please? So, as we said, like with all of these things, if I actually relate back to, stress in like social norms and social situations, a big one rising, at least in America, is, going to a party. If you're in high school, college, going to a party or somebody's house or any place you are, and this constant influence or pressure to expose yourself to substance abuse, alcohol, smoking, any of that stuff, right? And sometimes it's not always that you want to do it. It might be just pressure of like your friends, they're all doing it and you feel left out if you won't do it or something like that, right? So you're just kind of pulled to the idea of maybe I should do it just to fit in. But the point is that we don't, at that point, we don't judge or realize what the long term effects of that could be, whether it's addiction or just, whatever you do after you go into that state. But with meditation, we develop like a sense of discretion in terms of like nobody has to tell you that it's wrong. It's just in that moment you develop these set of values that you're like, I will follow. And once that discretion kicks in, you're just, you just know that it's the right thing to say no. And it just happens. You don't have to really, it's very spontaneous. You don't have to force it out and be really uncomfortable to say it. But it's something that will just happen. And that will change you internally to how people see you. And they'll kind of notice that, that it's all changing you into a positive way. And the way that's done is through practicing this meditation, like Anjali said, on a daily basis, just about 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the night. And just that time that you take to kind of calm yourself down and internalize, you'll actually develop that sense of discretion in all these situations that might make you do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So,
So the next challenge that we had was actually one that applied to me personally. So I think that especially being in like the second half of high school, you start getting a lot more kind of pressure when it comes to finding out what you want to do in life and what you want to major in, career paths, things like that. So personally, I don't have a lot of stress towards it, but I know a lot of people who do, because when everybody around you is already realizing what they want to do in life, it becomes a lot, it doesn't come naturally. You find yourself forcing yourself to look into opportunities or to get internships so that you can speed up the process of being able to find that kind of determination towards a certain career. So I think that this is so all encompassing when it comes to just high school students and even early college students. And I think the stress is, like, at its core very much due to lack of clarity. So lack of clarity is basically not knowing what we want to pursue, or having too many influences and you're not able to kind of have the discretion to know which one to follow, which one not to. So I think that being able to kind of single out what you want to do only comes with that lack of clarity, because if you're still quite confused about what a career path holds, or what not even just careers, even when it comes to like schools and applying for colleges, that lack of clarity can often cause a lot of stress. And I think that it's really important to be able to, as I said before, kind of single out what you want to do. And the main way that I've been able to find myself very clear-minded is through meditation. So having that sense of control, being able to understand yourself, can also apply to being able to understand what's around you. So rather than being very indecisive and having issues when it comes to clarity, being able to find your purpose in life and being able to have something as your own is so important in kind of keeping away anxiety and stress and things like that. So I think the main way that I can do this is through meditation. So another thing that I wanted to talk about was that meditation doesn't have to be just like a guided session. It often comes very naturally to a lot of people. And one of the main ways that we can actually get into meditation is through the use of many mediums. So Advait, could you talk about one of these?
Yeah, yeah. So, like she was saying, we're not always like, either you don't get into meditation and you can use that medium, or sometimes, you might just be too stressed or there's too much on your mind that maybe you find difficulty trying to get it into that. And sometimes you need help from other mediums, like she was saying. So, for example, if you're doing a homework or a project, I know a lot of people, including myself, who would just, listen to some music, just kind of get your mind off of it, and it helps you focus. And that's exactly what we're going to do, is kind of to get into the meditative, kind of focus. We're just going to listen to a song that was composed and written by people who do practice this meditation. And Anjali is going to introduce the artist who is going to be performing for us today. So
this group is called Somewhere in the Middle, and they're comprised of everybody who practices meditation, and they have been practicing for so long. And they have a beautiful song for you guys.
Hi guys. Can you okay, good. Hi, oops, let me fix my camera. My name's Kathy, and I'm from somewhere in the middle of the USA, out here in Chicago. And I'm gonna sing a little song. Oh, can you guys see me okay? All right, great. And so it's just me tonight. So, but we have a band for meditation. We play lots of meditation songs, and so these kind of help calm our spirit and help open the heart as well, and just kind of like calm down our mind. And sometimes and that's what music is really, really helpful for. And different types of music do different things. So we specialize in Indian fusion music, so a little bit American, a little bit in Western, a little bit Eastern with the Indian music. So this is just helps calm down the mind. So what we could do is just relax. This is the time to go inside, kind of take our attention away from the outside world into the inside. And so what you could do here is just close your eyes and keep your hands on your lap and just relax. And if you want to put your attention anywhere right now, just keep it on the top of your head while you're relaxing. This song is called Home. To know the truth is what we seek, and real love is our destiny. Your heart, let it in, and will keep your beauty and bring you home. Oh, you accept me, protect me back home. It might sound like all, it might sound like namaste, sound like it might sound like all, it might sound like namaste, sound like namaste. Oh, oh, you accept and protect me on my back home. I see the truth in your eyes. The love, please realize your heart, no doubt, can't stop to let it out. Find your way back home. Oh, oh, you said and protect me on my way back home. You and protect me. I am at home. Okay, you can bring your attention on your hands and see how you're feeling, how relaxed you are. And hopefully that settled everybody down a bit and we can do a nice guided meditation. Thank you very much.
Yes, so the next presenter that we're gonna have is Pranati. So if you can come and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Pranati and I am a rising sophomore from Ohio. And I have been doing this meditation, Sahaja Yoga, for like my whole life. So it's been a really big part of it. And I'm really excited to share with you all today. So if we could start the slides. Okay, so this is an energy called the Kundalini. And it is something that we're all born with, no matter our background or where we were born. And it's an energy, it's a conscious energy, which means that it knows everything about you, all the good, all the bad, and it's just here to guide you. And basically, today we are trying to help raise this energy through our energy centers, as you can see the little dots in the picture, and raise it to the top of our head where we can achieve yoga like we talked about before. Union with the divine power. So within us we have three sides. We have the left side, which reflects our emotions and our desires. And we have the right side, which reflects our actions upon those desires. And you can go to either of these sides to the extremes, but it's better to stay in the center, balanced and just in all aspects and in the present. So we're gonna try to keep our Kundalini through the center throughout this whole meditation. Okay, so as you can see on the slide, Sahaja Yoga is different from other yogas because it starts with self-realization. And this is basically what I was talking about before, the Kundalini going through your energy centers and rising to the top of your head. And once this happens, you get, like I said before, the yoga with the divine power of love. And you get to not only be peaceful, but you get to learn more about yourself and what's inside yourself and what connects us all on a deeper level. This may sound a little complex, but trust me, if we go through the steps on the next slide, you'll see that it is not that complicated. Okay, so to do this exercise, we are going to keep, if you can, sit on the ground and keep both of your hands, at least your left hand on your lap, like in the picture, just open, palms facing upwards. And we're going to do these 4 positions and hand positions along with an affirmation with each of those. So for the first part, you're just going to look at me and I'm going to show you. And then if you have any questions, you can ask me and then we'll close our eyes and actually start. So we're going to keep our left hand on our lap and we're going to keep our right hand first on our heart. And we're going to say, I am the pure spirit. This spirit that we're talking about isn't sort of any kind of ghost you would think of when you see that word, but it's basically just what some might call our atma or our soul. And it's just the essence of ourselves, essentially. So we don't want to be connected with any kind of like thoughts or anything that we think about in our minds, like our projections of ourselves or anything like that. We are just our spirit. And then we're going to put our right hand on the left side of our neck and sort of tilt our head towards the right so that we can get a better position. And we're going to say, I'm not guilty. This is basically self-explanatory, and I know as you go through your life, you feel like the more experiences you have, the more guilt you may feel about any of those experiences. But that's not what we're here to feel today. We're here to let go of all of that and just be the spirit. Then we're going to put our right hand on our forehead and we're going to say, I forgive everyone. I know some of you may disagree with that statement, but like I said, none of that matters today, right now. We're just staying in the moment and we're going to forgive everyone no matter what they've done because that is not our problem to deal with. And then we're going to keep our right hand on top of our head and we're going to say, please let me experience the silence and connect me with the all-pervading power of love. And that's it. Now we're going to close our eyes and take a few deep breaths to start off. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in and out. Now we're going to do the first step. Put our right hand on our heart and we're going to say with full confidence that I am the pure spirit. Not this mind, not this body. I'm nothing else but the spirit. Now we're going to keep our right hand on the left side of our neck and we are going to say, I am not guilty. Whatever I may have done throughout my life, I am not guilty for any of that. Now we're going to keep our right hand on our forehead and we are going to say, I forgive everyone. I forgive everyone, including myself. And then we're going to finish off by keeping our right hand on top of our head. I want to experience the silence. I want to be connected with the all-pervading power of love. Now we're going to keep our right hand a little bit above our head, just maybe a few inches or so. And we're going to see if we can feel anything, even on our right hand or our left hand. Move it up and down or side to side. Now we can keep our right hand back on our lap, and for the first time, we're going to take our left hand off of our lap and we're going to move it around on our head just like we did with our right hand and see if we feel maybe a cool breeze, a hot breeze, tingling, or anything, any sensation. Now we're going to keep our left hand back on our lap and we can open our eyes. Even if you didn't feel anything that I talked about, like the cool breeze or hot breeze or tingling, and even if you don't know what that means, all that matters is that you felt peaceful and calm and you kind of forgot about the outside world for a little bit. Can we move to the next slide, please? Okay, so this is a quote from Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi, who is the founder of this meditation. And it says, you cannot know the meaning of your life until you're connected to the power that created you. And this quote is true in a lot of different aspects. And we just did a little meditation that that connected us to this Kundalini that, as I said before, knows everything about us. And I hope you all felt that today. Now we're going to do a little meditation with some violin.
Hello everyone. Hope you felt peaceful and calm with this meditation. So we can just continue by placing both our hands on our laps as before. And we can close our eyes if we want. Just enjoy the silence within. Let's just keep our attention loose, not thinking about anything, just closing our eyes and enjoying the moment. And if thoughts come to us, we can just sort of witness them but not fight with them. Just witness them and slowly see them fade away. So we'll do this with some violin and in the background. So hope you all enjoy. we can sit in meditation for a minute or so. And whenever we are ready, we can open our eyes.
So hopefully, you guys were able to, experience the meditative state and, um, you know, kind of feel peaceful. And so we're just going to talk a little bit about how, like, Sahaja Yoga meditation and the founder. So the person that you see on screen, her name is Srimataji Nirmala Devi, and she's the person who founded Sahaja Yoga meditation and started um, this form of meditation. And she's been nominated for Nobel Peace Prize twice, and she was granted the U.S. UN Peace Medal, and also honored by many governments, institutions, and countries internationally, even the U.S. Congress. And so she's kind of the person that brought this to us, and as you guys kind of experienced, the magic of this meditation, and hopefully you guys were able to kind of feel, relaxed inside and connect to that power and feel much better. So before we kind of move on and kind of conclude, is there anybody who has any questions or comments on how you felt or concerns? You can put it in the chat or raise your hand. There should be an option to raise your hand, or you can put in the chat. So, if there aren't any questions, I'll just get to a little bit more of the benefits in future classes. So, some benefits, like we stated in the beginning when we were talking about challenges, is improving your physical well-being as well as your mental well-being and emotional, and it kind of helps with all aspects of you, whether how you feel mentally, or it helps control your emotions and how you act with others physically in different environments, as well as a spiritual aspect with connecting to the spirit, as Pranati was mentioning, which is kind of the highlight of the meditation is to connect to yourself and kind of go inside and find yourself inside. So can we have the slide of the future classes, please? So just as an update, please do take about 5 to 10 minutes, just morning and evening at home. Find a comfortable spot to sit and just kind of get into that meditative state. So it'll really change your life. And I know for me, for Pranati, and for Anjali, and everybody who is here today, we kind of have experienced that, and we're very glad to share it with you, so you can kind of understand that it's really helpful. And we have a meetup link, a meetup called Sahaja Yoga USA, and you can go to us.sahajayoga.org to find all the resources you need, which is guided meditations and resources about Sahaja Yoga and a subtle system. And we have Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. We have guided meditations and classes on Zoom, and that's the Zoom ID if you guys want to take a picture or just in some way save it. And it's going to be every Tuesday and every Wednesday, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So before we conclude, we're just gonna kind of transition that conclusion into Auntie Kathy, who's going to come back and also play another short song for us and a musical piece, and we're just gonna conclude through that. So welcome again, Auntie Kathy.
Okay, guys. As soon as you start my video, I think I'll go ahead and start. Okay, great. So, all right, can you see me? Okay, so yeah, I get a do-over. Yay. So it turns out that I accidentally forgot to put the musician's sound on. So let me just check my setting and make sure that it's on again. Sometimes it pops off. Yeah, it's on. So now that we're in a nice state of meditation, we can enjoy this song a little better anyway. So I'll play it again. Sounds a little better. To know the truth is what we seek, and realized is our destiny. Open your heart and let it in. Love will heal, renew your purity, and bring you You accept me and protect me on my way back home. It might sound like Om, it might sound like Namaste, it might sound like Adi 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 Shakti. It might sound like Om, it might sound like Namaste, it might sound like Adi Adi Shakti. Namaste. You accept me and protect me on my way back home. I see the truth in your eyes. I feel the love. Please realize it's in your heart. Have no doubt. You can start to let it out and find your way back home. You accept me and protect me on my way back home. You accept me and protect me. I am at home. Okay, thanks very much, guys, for that do-over, and wishing you a happy International Sahaja Yoga Day, and hope you guys all enjoy your self-realization experience. And back to you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the amazing music. To you and to Shashwat for the violin. Thank you guys so much for coming today, and we're glad to show you this and share this experience with you. And we hope you guys have a very wonderful day or the rest of the night, and we'll see you next Tuesday. All right, thank you. and have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.